Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. My guest this morning is Mr. Dominic Alancha. He's of APC. In fact, he's a chieftain and chairman of the Northern Ethnic Nationality Forum. Good morning to you, Mr. Alancha.
Good morning and thank you for having me.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. Well, to get straight into the matter, what is this that we are hearing? It's been on air for a couple of days now at least. The Renewed Hope office in Benue has been demolished. In fact, some even put it as Tinubu's Renewed Hope office demolished. That begins to bring some other connotations. I added that bit because, it's an APC state, isn't it? So what's going on? Do you have a better understanding?
Well, yes, it's very unfortunate that we are talking about that, that demolition right now, because on the 31st of this, October, we converged in Makurdi and then inaugurated the Ahmed Bola Tinubu Support Group Office, mainly with the responsibility of piloting the affairs of Mr. President's re-election in Benue State. Ideally, the governor is supposed to have donated an office to us to use, as the campaign office for Mr. President, because he is the governor of the state. He's supposed to take the lead. But unfortunately, that did not happen. One of our leaders, who is very, very, passionate about, Mr. President's re-election, donated that office. So we met on 30th, on 31st of this October, and then inaugurated the office. And few days after that, but let me just make this very clear, that before the inauguration of the office, because the office has to be rebranded, billboards has to be mounted, we make the necessary consultations and approach, the relevant agencies that allow the mounting of billboards, branding of an office, with the pictures, the posters of Mr. President, and we got all the approval. And that particular building also has the approval, of urban development. That's the Benue State Urban Development that carried out that demolition, claiming that, the building encroached into the road. Meanwhile, there is nothing like encroaching into the road. If you look at, the position of the fence, the position of the road, because if you go to that office, which your reporter in Benue can verify, there is this iron high tension that, carried light from, I think, Enugu or somewhere like that, to Jos, that passes that road. You cannot, so the road is on the other side of the building while the house is on this side. But the urban development, I believe, under the directive of the governor, who in our own thinking does not really have the interest, of Mr. President at heart, who is working assiduously to see that there is no political activities that will promote the activities, the re-election of Mr. President. In 2024, around February, barely a year, about 8 months into his administration, the governor banned all political meetings, all political activities, on the guise of security challenges. Meanwhile, there is nothing like that. So this meeting scared him, to the bone and marrow, because it's a convergence of who is who in the Benue politics. It's a convergence of, people that matters in the Benue politics. So what is happening in Benue is very, very unfortunate. The governor is not, clearly from his body language, he's not interested in the re-election of Mr. President. That is why he gave that directive. So he allowed, the urban development to go ahead and demolish that building, and it's unacceptable. And we want the world, Nigerians, to see him for who he is. He's not interested in anything that will bring about the progress of Benue State. If you look at governance in Benue State, it has even taken the back seat, because In fact, there was a report recently that was published by, Budget, the State of States report, where Benue is at the bottom low, number 35th on that position. The governor is doing nothing and is not, interested in anybody that will come and promote the activities of the party, of the APC in the state. In 2024, when he shut that office, he gave an order that the party secretariat should be locked. And if you go there, you will see that the party secretariat, as I speak with you, is still under lock, and key, under the directives of the governor. So it's very, very unfortunate and it's unacceptable. We won't take it. As Benue people, we will not accept that.
Okay. Now, this is not a simple story. Most people won't understand it. And so that's why I'm delighted that we have you here to help us try to understand. Governor Hyacinth Alia is a member of the APC, just as you are, just as the president is.
Yes.
Where did things go wrong so that, as they say in literature, the center cannot hold? Where did things fall apart within the APC family such that this is going on? I realize that this might be an elementary question if you happen to live in Benue and understood all the dynamics. But please help the rest of us out. What is going on? Why are members of the same family showing themselves this kind of enemy action?
Well, I don't think this question is an elementary question, because this is a very, very germane question. People, need to understand what is really going on in Benue. You recall that before the emergence of Alia, he was not a member of the All Progressive Congress. He has no structure on ground that could have, make him work for him to emerge as the governor of Benue State. But when he came into the party, the leader of the North Central, the party, the secretary, the now secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, aided him and gave him the ticket of the party, barely a month to our primary election. And after that, he felt that he has emerged as the governor. Therefore, other persons, stakeholders, critical stakeholders, including, George Akume, that even gave him the ticket, is no longer relevant and is waving everybody aside with a simple wave of hand. So for me personally, I believe that that is where, the problem started from. It was a battle for him to take over the structure of the party. Whereas, there are people he met on ground. There are people that, have facilitated his emergence as the governor of Benue State, because if you look at Alia as an individual, he do not have structure. People are saying he's popular. You can be popular without a structure on ground. You can be popular without, people. For example, personally, I've never met Alia one-on-one, and I'm from the state, but we work for him in my local government, in my ward, in my unit. We ensure that we deliver him. Why? Because of the structure that exists, that trickles down. The party gave a directive. This is our candidate. We must deliver him. We must work for him. But when he came on board, he betrayed everybody, and it is on that betrayal that he wants to stand on and ride in 27. But you see, the truth of the matter, what Alia is afraid of internal contest. And contest in a political party or in a democracy is key to the success of every democracy. So contestation is an integral part of democracy. Alia know that if he should, if a primary election holds tomorrow, he's not going to clinch the ticket, because the likes of Dr. Matthias Buam are well able and capable to contest that ticket, with him. And, the leader, the convener of the Ahmed Bola Tinubu, support organization in Benue State that have open office across the 23 local government of Benue State, is Dr. Matthias Buam, who is also interested and is a contestant, is contesting the ticket, with the governor for the to be the flag bearer of the party in 2027. So he's not happy with that. He saw the mammoth crowd that gathered in Benue, and he was very much afraid. And the best he thought he could do was to go and demolish, the office, that was set up for the campaign of Mr. President, not even for the campaign of, Dr. Matea's one, but for the campaign of Mr. President re-election. I think, is unacceptable, and to be honest, I'm ashamed that one family we are talking of this kind of division, in the party today.
Well, has the party made a statement yet? Because quite unfortunately, we don't have a spokesperson from Governor Alia's camp, as it were. And all of these all of what you have just explained, maybe they have some kind of a rejoinder to it. I don't know. But the party in Benue, has it, especially, I feel it is a bit ominous that Renewed Hope office in Benue is one thing. Tinubu's Renewed Hope office is, something slightly different. And that is the way some people are looking at it, thereby causing something of a tension between those ideas, which I am sure cannot be to the benefit of the party, neither the party nor Governor Alia himself. So these are challenges that we need to try and understand. APC as a party, as an organ, has it said one way or the other what it feels about this? Because I have read in other publications that, look, what the guys in Benue were doing was simply paying attention to, demarcations, paying attention to regulations and all of that.
Well, let me just start with stating that there was nothing like paying attention or to demarcation or whatever. The GM of the urban development made a response that he only allowed that because it was a sensitive, this thing.
Yes.
But in a situation where you want to demolish a structure like that, are you not supposed to have written to the occupant of those structures or the owners of those structures to say that their building have encroached into the road? But like I told you, the building, you can go there and verify, did not encroach into the road. The road is taking the other lane on the other side and not on this side. But because Alia is not interested in the Renewed Hope agenda of Mr. President, he's not interested in the re-election of Mr. President, if not but what he did is to go ahead and demolish, the party, the structure of Mr. President campaign. What we are saying is that the party has not made any statement at the national level, but at the state level, the party, under the leadership of Dr. Austin Agada, who is the authentic party chairman, I believe that he is going to make a statement about that. But what we are expecting is that any statement that is coming should be, how, the governor is going to be sanctioned for demolishing is part of the party structure. A campaign office for Mr. President also form part of the party structure. So what I'm trying to say is that the governor, and it's very clear, his body language has demonstrated that he is not interested in the re-election of Mr. President. If not, he would have been doing what other governors are doing by supporting, other, campaign offices that have been opened or that have been established and inaugurated, for the purpose of Mr. President's election. But because he's not interested in that, he went ahead to give an order to demolish it, claiming that it has encroached into the road. How?
Okay, I'm going to come back on that, but in the meantime, good morning, Mr. George, calling in from Ikeja.
And good morning to the gentleman from Benue.
Thank you.
Uncle Yeri, what has happened?
Thank you.
Calls for greater attention on the developments in Benue State. From the distance where I stand, I have also been watching events in that state. But what has happened now is enough to take keener interest by Mr. President. You go and demolish a structure meant to promote the image of the party before the people. That speaks volumes, Uncle Yori. I think it is time for Mr. President to call the LGF, that is Mr. George Akume, and the governor to a room and talk to them. Because if you watch, Uncle Yori, the governor is not very present where APC affairs are being discussed or done. For example, in the APC governors forum, you hardly see him among them. And you hardly also see him identify with the programs of the president. I am talking from the perspective of a keen observer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if that is the case, there must be a reason. Maybe he wants to be assertive, as after all, I am the governor, and somebody is trying to snatch power and authority from me. I believe these issues are things that Mr. President can call these 2 or 3 figures in Benue State to a room and resolve it. Because what has happened now has exposed everything. I just imagine the effrontery. When you know that the president is connected with a project like this, you did not avail yourself of other options of resolving it. You just went ahead and demolished it. That agency cannot go and demolish a structure like that without the consent of the governor. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And for that to happen like that, something is wrong and it should be addressed. Mr. President should call these 2 people to the room and talk to them. That's my recommendation.
Thank you very much, Mr. George, for calling in. And as you say, my own thoughts exactly as it relates to the issue of Governor Hyacinth Alia. I just said he's a member of the same party with the president, the same party with the chairman of Benue. He just is a member, and you don't do these kind of things. So that's why it's crucially important to hear a spokesman from Governor Hyacinth Alia himself. If they are listening to this, we warmly invite them to please call in and give us their side of the story, if there are sides. Okay, but in the meantime, maybe they will take it on, because what we do here is that we usually like to have the pros and the cons of a given issue, and now this one, we really are scratching our head over this. Just as that caller just said, Mr. George, that you don't do this kind of thing when you know that one way or the other, the president is involved, the president is a member of your party. But then, coming back to you, Mr. Alancha, maybe, and that's why I really do need to hear from them, maybe they're going along the lines of, look, even Mr. President himself will not condone a flouting of the regulations. You've already denied to me that, on the program, that there's no such thing. But since that is the way they're going, that look, it's a matter of we can't tolerate any infringement of the regulations. Okay, let's hear it. If they feel good about that, let's hear it. The SGF, by the way, Mr. George Akume, he hasn't said anything, or has he so far?
No, well, I'm not aware if he has said anything.
Okay.
But to the best of my knowledge, he has not said anything.
Because it's not in the public space yet.
Let me, also bring some more clarification to this issue. You see, this road we are talking about is sitting on it's a federal road. It's not a state road. that Benue State, urban development had to do this thing, because you see, like I told you, the road that the construction company are constructing, it's not even on this other side of the building. It's on the other side. The construction company have spoken that they have no business to do on this other side. It's only the GM of Benue Urban that is saying that the building has encroached. But in any case, even if the building has encroached, are you not supposed to give, are you not supposed to give notice or to write to the owners of the building, given the fact that this building has, approvals? In 2004, they secured the approval for the very structure, the building approval for the very structure that is there. The building also has a CFO. It has a CFO, for the building. So this is not an entity that does not have legal document. It's an entity that has a legal document, and you are supposed to have written to them. But like I told you, this man the governor is subnubbing. I'm very happy that Nigerians are beginning to see him for who he is. And this particular action has exposed him and his intention. His intention is to leave the party, because if you look at the kind of people he's subnubbing with, the likes of Gabriel Susuam, who is in ADC, assuring him, that he should come to ADC, they are going to give him the ticket. That is why he is doing this thing, because he has no hope of securing the ticket of the party in 2027, because of the likes of Matthias Buam, and others who are strongly on ground to contest it with him. So for me, in fact, God has exposed him, for who he is. And it is better we take action. The National Secretariat, Mr. President, they take action now, because like the last caller rightly said, I cannot imagine the effrontery that a governor who is supposed to champion the cause of Mr. President's re-election is demolishing a building that is open and set up. Resources have been expended there, into, the election of Mr. President's campaign. That is the state office. So there are other offices that have been opened across the 23 local government in Benue State. Activities, we have kickstarted the activities of Mr. President re-election in Benue, but the governor is not with us because he is not interested in his re-election.
Okay, but in spite of all of that, is it not a paradox of some sort that the governor is still the chairman of APC in Benue?
The governor cannot be the chairman of APC in Benue State.
Okay, sorry.
We have a chairman of APC in Benue State in person of Dr.
Austin Agada.
Austin Agada, who is the substantive chairman, that was elected during the Congress of the party in Benue State. Any other person that is claiming to be a chairman is an impostor, is impersonating.
Okay, you're very right. As I said,
of the party is very
you had earlier said
about that.
You had earlier said that Austin Agada, leader is what I meant really. Leader, he still is the leader of the party, right? And so this complicates matters.
Yes, he is the leader of the party.
The chairman is separate. The leader, who has to be a man of influence, is in the person of the governor. So how will the engine of governance work if the leader, dare I say, is at loggerheads with not just the chairman of the party, but also all the others, everybody else, as your very good self, for instance?
Well, I told you earlier that in 2004, in 2024, February to be precise, you can fact check me, the governor gave an order, directing security agencies not to allow any political activities in the state. And because of that, he went and shut down. In fact, he mobilized a tipper load of sharp sand, laterite, and blocked the entrance to the party secretariat in Benue State. Therefore, it did not give, the party chairman the freedom, the laxity to operate within the state. So the governor have shut all political activities in the state. You know, he has shut the party secretariat. There is no political activities going on in the state. And we on our own cannot sit down and watch, you know, these things going on like that. Whereas other, you know, political parties like the ADC, you know, like the Labour Party, the SDP, are carrying out their own political activities. Only APC is banned because, you know, he has fallen out with the secretary to the government of the federation. He has fallen out with critical stakeholders of the party in the state. He has fallen out with the party leadership in the state. If you go to Benue State today, the party is divided. And at this point, I would like to say that Mr. President have to step in and help APC in Benue because Governor Hyacinth earlier is destroying the party because on his other hand, he has the ticket of ADC to grab, you know, in 2027.
Okay, but we don't know that. We don't know that as a fact, sir. Just speaking journalistically, that's why I really would need to speak with to hear from the governor. Let the governor or his spokesperson call in and let us know precisely what is going on. In the meanwhile, Benjamin in Makurdi, good morning, sir. Benjamin? Benjamin?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I want to add to what that my brother is saying. Actually, I'm a confirmed member of All Progressive Congress too. But I am so disappointed in the governor of Benue State. I'm highly disappointed in him because we think he was helping Mr. President do work. But under the leadership of Senator George Akume, he's trying his best, and the governor is sitting there trying to destroy everything. I think Mr. President should have the back of his mind. If it's not Senator George Akume, Allah is not doing anything to support him in 2027.
Okay, all right.
That is what I wanted people to know.
Okay, thank you very much. Really appreciate your calling in. Okay, I'm going to take a break now. So, Mr. Lancha, do please bear with us. We'll be right back to continue this conversation. Okay, welcome back. A story that's been making the rounds for about a couple of days now is that all doesn't seem to be well in Benue State, ostensibly an APC state. But one of the cardinal programs of the APC is, you know, pushing its renewed hope agenda. And, well, the renewed hope structure building was pulled down in Benue. And of course, in the world of symbolism, this means a heck of a lot. It surely shows that all is not too well there. Our guest is Mr. Dominic Alancha. He's an APC chieftain and chairman of the Northern Ethnic Forum. Well, the story behind that, Mr. Senator George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, is from Benue. He's a quite influential, you know, person, and quite frankly, he has structure in Benue. It is said that the structure that we're talking about was sort of the governor, when he was, you know, invited into the party, when he was brought into the party, actually used that structure. But now it would appear that something has gone wrong. If he was able to accept the structure that had been built by a loyal party member to work, to run with that, why is it now suddenly become a problem? We don't know. We've heard, as you have also heard my guest, Mr. Dominic Alancha, tell you from his point of view what the reasons are. But we have to sort of stay out of it. And I just wish that the governor, His Excellency Hyacinth Alia, if he doesn't want to come on himself, would at least authorize a spokesperson. I don't know, maybe the Minister of, maybe the Commissioner for Information, it might be a personal assistant. We just need to hear from Governor Hyacinth Alia, because this is all very unseemly within one political party, but it is what we have. So, Mr. Lancha, what would you like? People have said that it's time the presidency, the president came in on this matter. I'm just guessing that, well, the president is not going to be in too much of a haste to fall into it, to come into it, since that side is quoting, well, if not laws, regulations that have been infringed. And I'm sure Mr. President, being, you know, who he is, he would want people to just go and check that out and be sure that no mistake was made in that regard. Because even if you use the name of the president and you infringe on certain demarcations, I'm sure the president won't be among those people saying that let's manage it like that. No, 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 you can't manage that kind of a thing. But we have heard, if you want to start thinking like that, we have heard from Mr. Lancha that it has nothing to do with the state. The venue is on a federal road, so it's federal. So what exactly would you want in this situation before we get the joy of hearing from the governor himself or a spokesman that he so appoints? What would you want done to this situation? Because it's an untenable situation, isn't it?
Well, the urban development agency in Benue State, under the directive of the governor, have demolished the office. Resources were expended there. I'm not speaking for the owners of the building. Perhaps maybe they will seek legal redress. But in the interest of the party, I think the National Secretariat, because even on the day of this inauguration of the campaign office, the national chairman of our party, Professor Nentawe, sent a representative to represent him there. Who is who, in Benue State were there. The parties was there. So I think what they need to do, the party need to do, is to set up an investigation, a panel into, what happened in Benue State and investigate it, so that, the crisis will not, expand. Because if this crisis expands, it will not, augur well for us, as a party. It's about the image of the party out there. But clearly, Nigerians, know this, and the intent, of the governor has been exposed with this. And we have been saying these things long ago. The governor is not with Mr. President. The governor is not interested in APC winning election because he has made other arrangements, to move to other political parties.
But the governor has to say that himself. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sorry to interrupt you.
Other political parties are going on.
Okay, sorry that I tried to interrupt you. It's even good that I didn't succeed, so you landed. But and what you've just said, and those sentiments that the governor has to voice himself, but because he could still come back and say that it's a horrible misunderstanding, that why will he remain a member of the party if he's indeed guilty of all the things that you have said? After all, it doesn't cost him anything to walk away from the party. So that's why I thought that before you can say things along the gravity of which you have just uttered, the utterance would have to come from the governor. Things along the lines of he's not interested in the party, neither is he interested in Mr. President's, vying for another term. Those are beyond anti-party. Those are outright sabotage. So I believe that the governor, in the light of all these kind of statements, and this is not the first time, as I said, he's been going, this has been in the news for about 2 or 3 days now. He really needs to speak up, and he's maintaining this silence, just leaving it to that environment ministry that you spoke about. That's not cutting it at all. In terms of what can be done, you said that, look, maybe the time has come for the president to come in on this. I don't know if he's going to. I don't know if it's right for him to, but I do know that all is not well in the APC family in Benue. And this can be fixed. This can actually be fixed if there was that intention.
Absolutely, it can actually be fixed. It can actually be fixed, and that is what I'm saying, that the National Secretariat should, wade into this crisis and see how they can resolve this matter.
Indeed.
Because
one moment, sir. One moment, Mr. Lancha. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let me just take Cornelius, who has called in from Abuja. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Good morning, Cornelius.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Good morning to you, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm an observer that has been watching what is happening in Benue State. So, I think on the 31st of October, the program was aired live, where Dr. Matthias Duan set up an office for his principal, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. The crowd was much. People turned out because party activities in Benue State have been grounded by the governor. We that are watching from afar, we know what is happening in Benue State because we have key interest in Benue State. We have been monitoring what is happening in Benue State. The governor does not want any political party activities of APC from the wing of the SGF because, as you know, there are two factions there. He has his own faction, and he has his own structure that he's working with. He has granted APC activities in Benue State, and we are watching. The office was meant for Mr. President. Suddenly, urban development appeared to demolish the structure. It's very, very uncalled for. It's very, I have never seen such a thing in the same party. The president is the leader of the party in Nigeria. Okay. And an office is set up for him. He went to demolish the structure. See, there's road construction going on. So, we don't really know what the governor is up to because I believe that as a member of the APC, the governor being a member of the APC, would have known that that office is meant for their leader, the president. And to Dr. Matthias Duan, he's an appointee of the president. So I think what he's doing is the right thing for his principal. And earlier being the governor of the state, would have keyed into that to support the president. But going there to demolish that office, I think that is very, very barbaric, very uncalled for, it's very, very satanic as a priest who was not a member of the party, brought in by Senator George Akume. This is very, very uncalled for. The president needs to look into this matter.
Okay.
And for the SGF being a peaceful man, he has been quiet about this because he knows that whatever he says or do there, it will cause a problem because he knows that the party structure in Benue State is led by, I think, the chairman, Austin Agada. Yes, Austin Agada is the chairman in Benue State. So, whatever structure that is put on the president in Benue State is not supposed to be demolished by the governor. So I feel that what the governor is doing in Benue State is unacceptable.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling in, Cornelius. As I said, it's a very delicate matter as far as I can see from where I'm standing here. It doesn't look good at all. But you see, when we talk about the renewed hope agenda, that's an APC program. And elsewhere, governors who have cited that as the backdrop against which certain things are being done. So it's not so much, you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, it's not so much Tinubu's agenda anymore. It's the APC agenda for the Tinubu administration. And the agenda will be pursued, as it were, from all over the country, even in Benue. That's why I desperately need to hear from Governor Alia, or whoever he appoints, to give us his understanding of the renewed hope agenda of the ruling party, the APC. Because the way it is being phrased as it's a Tinubu facility, it's a Tinubu office. I mean, okay, I understand that, because it's in Tinubu's administration that has brought along the renewed hope agenda. That is indeed what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is bent on doing. But it has offices and facilities all over the country. And so governors, I would imagine, if I knew enough about politics, are supposed to be citing it as part of their cooperation with their party's agenda that's an initiative of Mr. President. So there are a number of layers here that I don't know that Mr. Governor, Mr. Reverend Hyacinth Alia, I don't know that his silence is really helping us any at all. And it can easily, I don't know, it could just spin out of control if we're not careful. It could spin out of control. And that is what I'm sure you are working on. He is the leader of the party. There's the chairman of the party, Austin Agada, who can't like any of this. But let me hear if there's somebody else on the line. Mazi Okoroafo, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning again. Mazi Okoroafo, when I saw that video on one of these days, the daily, I saw laughing. Why was I laughing? That how can the party that brought a governor into the office and with demolishing the office was not good? Now I start asking myself, the environmental building committee that went to demolish the place, ability they use and the tractor they use, are they telling the Nigerians that they don't have planning, or the building is on the soccer way, or the building is on the roadside, or the building was not approved by the authority? Now, if the governor wants to leave the party, at least there is no need for him to start discussing structures. Because such building cannot be destroyed without the consent of the governor.
It has a certificate of occupation.
They were all appointed by the governor, not they didn't come to the office by themselves. And there must be procedure. They say, I don't know, I could have brought you to the office. And I was reading one of these papers, that was not sure that's the point. It was said that Governor Ali go and make peace with Akume. Because Akume is a governor, no matter what, no matter how many billions of people you may pass from the office, it's Akume that brought you to the office. Without Akume, you will not be there as the governor. That is why in Nigerian politics, when they bring me into the office, you go and remove the ladder. And the ladder, when you bring me to the office, you go and change the goalpost. That is Nigeria, you see. I've told it, I'll say repeating it. People that go into the office as politicians, go in there as an occupation, that is vocation. If you are going there as an occupation, you are going there to create more problem for yourself because they have three factors, money, power, and this matter. Well, time will tell. Remember, vanity of vanity, all vanity, mazo top of mazo. Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Okay. I think that was the same person speaking as he was going out. Well, Reverend Hyacinth Alia, Governor of Benue State, we do need to hear that you are not fighting the president, because there would have to be a reason for a fight, and we can't even see why would any reasonable person want to fight the president of a country that he also is a part of. So all of that, that's why surely the good reverend will understand that his silence is not helping matters at all. In fact, it's confusing matters. So we come back to Mr., we come back to you, Mr. Lancha, and you have said that it's high time that the authorities from the national level, even the presidency, come in on this matter. But so far they haven't. So what is going, are we going to continue in this state? Are you saying that, is it your observation, for instance, that Benue is suffering as we speak? Never mind the emotionalisms that we've been speaking about. Is Benue suffering from a lack of governance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I am ashamed that we are talking about Benue in this light, in terms of political, struggles. Whereas we were supposed to be talking of how the governor is advancing governance. I can tell you that all the electioneering campaign promises that earlier made to the people, he has failed the good people of Benue State. Today, if you can go to Benue, you will confirm what I'm about to tell you, that governors have taken the back seat, and the report of the budget, state of state reports, vindicated those of us that have been crying and shouting that this man has been receiving humongous allocations since the removal of fuel subsidy by Mr. President, but has nothing to show for it. Governors have taken the back seat. Youth unemployment, is on ascendancy. Economic and commercial activity is on the low, is on the lowest minimum in the state. Nothing to write, as a legacy. Since earlier came on board, this is 2 years, running, to the third year. He cannot point at one project that he invited Mr. President to come and commission in the state.
All right. Let's hear from Kingsley. I beg your pardon, sir. Let's hear from Kingsley, who has called in from Warri.
To give him the ticket of the party.
Okay. Kingsley in Warri. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Please go ahead now. Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
I must commend you for inviting the governor to, or the governor of Benue or any other person to represent him. That is a good one. At least you should hear from the other side of the divide. But one thing must be clear here. According to the APC constitution, the governor is the leader of the party. So I expect my brother and the rest of them to queue behind the governor. I don't want to believe, but I'm not saying they are lying, that the governor is not supporting the president. Certainly all of them, they are working for the president's re-election. But however, they must be on the same page. They must be on the same page. But a situation whereby you want to stamp your feet there because you are the one that brought the governor, to me it is not too good. In my place, there's an adage in my place, permits me to say that the Shekiri man will say, Amamoloja Muje Takatule. Once you install a king, of course you have to bow for the king. They should see the governor of Benue State today as a king, in as much as he is not a paramount ruler, but they too must respect his authority there and work for one single purpose, in bringing back the president and fulfilling the renewal agenda. To me, that is my own. But undermining the authority of the governor there, because you have one secretary up there, to me it is not too well.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much, Kingsley, for that. Well, in closing now, I'll allow you, some closing remarks on this whole issue of this saga, the stage it's in now.
Well, let me just quickly correct an impression that the governor is the party of, the leader of the party. There is no doubt that as the governor, we accord him, the maximum respect that he deserves as a governor. But you see, he cannot double as the governor of the state and the party chairman, of the party. The constitution is very, very clear as to who is the party chairman in the state.
He's the leader.
Austin Agada is the party chairman, is the party chairman of the state, So going forward, like I said, the National Secretariat should wade into the crisis in Benue State, because clearly the young man that just called, or the last caller that just called, said that we need to be on the same page. And if a body or an individual has come, or a group of individuals came together to open up an office for the electioneering campaign of Mr. President in 2027, the governor is supposed to rejoice and be happy and support this kind of move and agenda. But what did he do? He went and demolished it.
Okay, let's leave it there.
Is that not painting the party in a bad light?
Clearly,
the governor is not with Mr. President, and that is what we want the Nigerians and the world to know, that Hyacinth Alia is not working for the re-election of Mr. President.
Thank you very much. We're going to have to leave it there.
And it must be checked.
Okay, Mr. Dominic Alantia, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much. And to close, let me just say that we dearly love to hear from Reverend Father Governor Hyacinth Alia on this whole matter. I shouldn't add any more than that. Okay, that's our program today. Do please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.